Alright, what's going on, people? I'm doing something unscripted. Apart from the normal, usual gaming videos that I do, I wanted to try something different and do something related to more variety. And this is talking about horror movies. Friday the 13th is one of my favorite slasher films ever. You know, you got people walking around, having sex, being killed. I love it. And you had the reveal of Pamela Voorhees, Jason Voorhees' mom, and then Jason took it to a new level in the preceding movies that followed. Now we have this big legal battle. It's like legal custody over the rights, and I'm not going to get into it. The only thing I will say is that I hope they come into a compromise soon, similar to how Disney and Marvel and Sony and all those fucking people, they finally got their heads out of their butts, and they came together and they said, you know what? Here, we're going to sign off on Spider-Man, and we will potentially do some more ideas with him in the future, and people get their Spider-Man movies, and the fans are happy. I hope they do the same with Jason. Today, I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I wanted to rekindle some ideas and talk about my top 5 favorite things that I want to see in a new Friday the 13th movie. These are going to be my personal opinions, so please do not bite my head off if these are ideas that don't necessarily align with yours. Tell me in the comment section your top 5 favorite things that you want to see in a new Friday. What do you want to see Jason doing? Cutting motherfuckers up, killing camp counselors, etc. Bring up your own ideas to the table in the comment section below. But these are my top 5 ideas that I want to see if they secure the license yet again. Alright, so number 1 on my list, I'm trying to think. Number 1 is probably going to be a more methodical Jason being reintroduced into this new movie. I really enjoyed the premise of this in the Friday remake. Let me explain. Jason was more of a hunter, right? He was putting down bear traps. He was putting down sound wires where someone runs over the wire and they will rattle bottles and they will alert Jason to their presence. This stuff is something that's awesome. It made me realize that yes, this killer is not just making a slow beeline to the target. He is thinking outside of the box. This is hunter versus hunted. And I really enjoyed that atmosphere of people being chased down like this. Jason using searchlights and trying to find people and flush them out. It was just something that we really weren't used to, I guess. Now, Jason is no dummy. Obviously, like, he's no dummy and he can power through anyone, but he's usually proposed as a powerhouse now due to Part 6 making him this unkillable, unstoppable force. Now it was like in that movie, he was a thinker ahead of time, and that guy getting his leg drawn in the bear trap and that chick getting tortured over the flame, that was a very gory and gruesome sight. I really want to see stuff like that again. Traps being laid down, people falling one by one, the guy that was being used for bait when he was injured and Jason just finished that man off with an axe. I want to see that come back into fruition yet again. I think the biggest fear from any slasher oriented experience is when you have someone that is not only physical that can destroy you, but someone also methodical, intelligent, and one step ahead of the camp counselors or the teenagers at the site. That's why I think that stuff really works, and I hope that idea comes back in future Friday movies if they secure the license and make all the fans happy. Number 2, I think they should re-examine the idea of bringing back blood relation protagonists to Jason. They've done this before in Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. The problem there is that it was done poorly, it was executed like ass, and we had to deal with that lingering storyline of Jason transferring his body into random EMTs and all that shit just to get his powers back, and it was ridiculous. I just don't want something for a Jason story like that going forward. I want something of this relative premise Yet I feel it needs to be fleshed out. It needs to have more backstory, as opposed to the Kimballs being killed off immediately and bam, they're saying we have no more blood relations to Jason. How about we have some that survive and they're fighting to sort of uncover why they are related to this man in the first place? Why do they have these origins? Maybe some of them will go crazy when they find out what happens to Jason itself, because that was an act where Pamela absolutely hated the fact that her son got drowned and no one was there. How would these siblings feel about the Camp Crystal Lake incident, and how would that tie into the storyline? Would there be any emotional factors there between Jason and them when they find out the revelation? What happened to Elias Voorhees, because they never really gave a significant backstory to Jason's father. They were planning it in one part and it got scrapped for some reason. They gave his father some backstory in the comics and they said that he was abusive, he was menacing, and how would that factor into a storyline? I know it sounds similar to Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween, with the abusive white trash parents, yet they could do something interesting for Jason with those similar premises. Just don't devote him to white trash and you'll be good. You'll be fine, fam. I'm talking about interesting parental situations, domestic abuse. What happened before all of that happened at Camp Crystal Lake? And they can explore this and tie some family bloodlines into the mix and make the Kimballs stronger characters and protagonists to be set up in the future. The reason why Halloween is so good is because you do have that brother and sister dynamic between Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, and that's really something that carries the backbone of that plot line that goes into sequel after sequel after sequel. We know Jason is not going to be the most sympathetic at all 100% of the time. He is a tragic character, and I want to see that setup of a family bloodline where the protagonist is against the antagonist. However, they have that connection and they understand each other, and that is the crux of a family tragedy. We have to destroy each other even though we don't want to. Shit, man. Look, my number 3 is so fucking self-explanatory. It's so fucking obvious. Like, no censor kills, for the love of God. Please, no fucking censor kills. No part 7 New Blood censor kills, where all the good kills, they filmed it and then it wouldn't be approved by the MPAA, and then it looked like Jason was killing virtually half the cast off screen. Like, no more of that. Like, please, if I want to see someone's head crushed into a walnut, I should be able to see this on the big screen. If not, could you please do me a teeny little favor and maybe make a killer cut version, just like the Friday the 13th remake? Make some type of alternate cut so we can see everything in full motion. But I hate when they do this. When they introduce so much censorship, they did this with Scream 1. It just really sort of took me out of the brutality somewhat. Now, granted, the theatrical for Scream was really still bloody. It was still gory in the beginning, and you still saw Casey Becker with her organs removed on that tree. You still saw that even though the camera was zooming in fast. But I just want to see everything as clear as day as much as possible. Everything should be in full fucking view. Like, this is a slasher movie. It shouldn't even be censored in the first place. But because this has happened in the past with part 7, I gotta bring it up here. Number 4, we need a new setting. We desperately need a new setting. Something equivalent to maybe going back to the original idea of Jason Takes Manhattan, where he's sort of in an urban setting. Not to the point where the movie is a complete misnomer like Jason Takes Manhattan was, where instead of actually being in the city, he's on a boat for the entire duration of the movie. And it shouldn't be as ridiculous as Jason X, even though I have a very, very guilty pleasure hard-on for that movie. Like, I can't hate it too much because I actually love it to pieces, but that's besides the point. I think we need to move away from Camp Crystal Lake just a little bit, or alter the environment, or do something. And the sequel to the remake was going to do that by putting everything in snow. never hike in snow. That could be still an interesting premise put to screen. You never know, because once again, snow is white. Snow basically doesn't have too many places to hide. You are seeing your pursuing target. Jason has to also adapt to snow as well if he's going to be remotely human. We don't know if they decide to even do this idea in the first place. I also think snow is really good for fucking blood, man. Fucking entrails, fucking intestines, fucking hearts, fucking livers, fucking kidneys hitting the goddamn surface is like a blank smeared canvas of art. And entrails, whatever you prefer, right? That's how it would look. I think it would migrate well on a very good looking camera, and you just see the money shot clearly. It's a perfect environment. On second thought, you know what I think is very interesting? Instead of the urban idea that I introduced earlier, maybe they could put Jason on something enclosed, like maybe a submarine or something, or maybe like some type of mansion. That would be cool. Jason in a mansion killing people. Some enclosed area where it's hard to escape from, and they need to find out how to get away from him as fast as possible. And I think that would be a cool idea, you know? That'd be nice, and the waters wouldn't be too safe. Like, what are your ideas on areas that Jason could go that's enclosed if they decide to put a new setting? I would like to hear from the comment section on that one. The last one we have here is number 5. Let me look at my list here, and that is more intricate protagonists. This sort of goes in line with the whole sibling bloodline thing that I talked about earlier with Jason. We need more interesting heroes, because once again, all the heroes just correlate to dumb person number A, dumb person number B, dumb person number C, and number D, which is Jennifer Love huge tits. Like, that's all it is with the characters in these movies. They are just horny teens sent to die, and I know we enjoy that, but what if we had those elements combined with interesting character traits, like we have a guy that has survivor's guilt, or we have a girl that feels conflicted because of the past, or we have just a bit more layers of depth to these characters, so when they die, it won't just be like, haha, these two people fucked and it was supposedly justified. Now we have characters we care for, we feel for, and I think that could be fleshed out just a little bit more than the standard horror tropes. That means if any character dies, whether it's side characters or main characters, we actually feel the impact, we feel the emotion, because the storytelling managed to grip us enough to believe in these characters that we don't want them to perish just because they decided to hit a bong or they decided to do something within human nature. I would like to see what happens if they did combine these conventional horror tropes with strong three-dimensional characters. Like, what would happen if someone died and they weren't just funny, or they weren't just a class act? What if they had a little bit more substance to them, and then you get to see the massacre, you get to see them killed off one by one? Make me actually feel something for these people outside of them just being cannon fodder. And I think that would be readily entertaining. That would be interesting if they could craft new protagonists that we care for, that can die in the process, people that we could root for against the unstoppable force that is Jason Voorhees. Alright people, that is the end of the video. Once again, if you really like this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Share it to your friends, families, Reddit, forums, everywhere. That helps me out in the long run, because YouTube's algorithm is a pile of dumpster fuck. And once again, I really appreciate your support as long-time subs, as new-time viewers. I love every single last one of you. Thank you so much for tuning into the video. Tell me your top 5s in the comment section below for what you want in a Friday the 13th movie. If they decide to make a new one that's modern, that's cool, that's awesome. Hopefully this legal battle shit ends soon. It's really pissing me off. I just want to see more Jason on the big screen. Michael's feeling lonely, Chucky's feeling lonely. I need you guys to come back and be a horror icon unit. Same for Freddy. Bring back fucking Freddy, man. Come on, man. Like, bring back Freddy Krueger as well. It's been like a decade since we've seen the last Nightmare on Elm Street, which was the remake. So yeah, that'd be cool. Like, bring all that shit back. And, you know, I mean, it's cool Texas is coming back. I just don't know what the quality is going to be on that one. The verdict's out, but I will watch it with the survival horror Discord. Speaking of which, we have a new public survival horror Discord. If you don't already know, I will put it in the comment section below. We talk about horror movies, horror stories, horror games. We talk about all that stuff under the sun. It's like Halloween, except every day in there. If you enjoy the public Discord, if you want to talk and be on our forum, you can just click the link below, join the server, and you're in, you're good to go. We can set you up from there with podcast opportunities, maybe get you in the chat, talk a little bit. We could do horror movie night, etc. Come on by and enjoy yourself. Once again, this is Renegade Operative signing off. If you guys have any other top 5s that you want me to do, whether on games of my interest, which you can see on the channel, or other topics like this, I will accept your suggestion and I will take a look at it. I will see you guys next time. Be safe from COVID. Later. Also, I guess this is gonna be a PS. Remember that like fucking cool, hellish looking black Jason outfit where he has like fucking embers and brimstone like circulating through his body in the Tom Savini outfit in the Friday the 13th game? Can we have that shit like as a costume? Can we have that like canonized in the next movie where he's wielding that fucking giant trident like he's like a fucking buffed up Aquaman and he's ready to fuck shit up? Like, can we have that? Can we have that trident going directly through someone's mouth, someone's cock breath mouth? Can we have that? I think I should end this video right now. This is too much. I'm sorry. I'm gonna end this video now. So there it is, me calling a camp counselor a cock breath. There it is, right there. Just end it now, damn it.